We are back for another episode of Local Festive Traditions, which explores the roots and holiday traditions of local immigrant stories right here in Kennebunk. Each of these stories was researched and written using the local census as well as archival materials here at the Brickstore Museum. Don't forget, you can leave us stories about your own family traditions, questions about the stories that we tell, and discover more of the videos at brickstoremuseum.org/festive traditions. Let's jump back into our story.
Hello, my name is Annie Andersen, and I live on York Street in Kennebunk with my husband Peter and my grown daughter Edith. My husband and I are originally from Sweden, and here on York Street we have many Scandinavian neighbors. I was born Anna Sandberg in Lindesberg, Sweden in 1868, and I was named after my dear mother, Anna Louise. Like so many Swedes, I left my homeland to start a new life in America. I traveled alone by steamship when I was 22 years old. My husband, Peter, who was also born in Sweden, left in 1888. We met in Kennebunk in 1890 and were married on December 17th of that year. We were blessed with three lovely daughters, Helen, Alice May, and Edith Elizabeth. Sadly, we lost Helen when she was 22 to diabetes. She passed in 1917, just a few years before the discovery of insulin, which was a lifesaver for those with diabetes. My second daughter, Alice, married a Scottish fellow, Alexander McInnes, in 1919 and lived and worked in Kennebunk. She worked as a stamper in a shoe shop, and he worked as a machinist in the mills. My husband, Peter, also worked in the various mills in Kennebunk, along with many of our fellow Swedes. My daughter, Edith, worked at the mills as well. She was the paymaster, a very important job. My youngest never married and continued to live with me and Peter in her adult years. It was so nice to have the whole family close for the holidays. Christmas time was one of my favorite times of year. Back home, Christmas is called the Yule, and celebrations date back to pagan times as a celebration of the winter season. Christmas festivities began on December 13th, St. Lucia Day, and concluded on January 13th, St. Newt's Day. On St. Lucia Day, young children in the family, like my daughters, would dress up. The eldest was usually selected as St. Lucia, and she would wear a white gown with a large crown of candles on her head. The crown would be woven with evergreen boughs to bring good luck. Younger girls would dress in white with a red sash and act as St. Lucia girls' attendants. Boys would dress as star boys, and they had a large cone-shaped paper hat decorated with stars of silver and gold. In schools, there'd be processions, and everyone would sing traditional folk songs. Families with children would visit friends and neighbors, delivering pepperkaker, that's like ginger snaps, or coffee and mulled wine and other treats. St. Lucia Day was a wonderful day to get into the holiday season and kick off a month of merriment and fun. In the weeks after St. Lucia Day, we would decorate our homes with a Christmas tree, fresh boughs of evergreen, and lots of stars. We would make stars out of twigs, sticks, rope, whatever simple material we could find. We also put candles throughout the house to represent the brightness and the warmth of stars. The tree would be decorated with fruit, gingerbread, and candies, and of course, stars and candles. Peter and I celebrated our wedding anniversary every year on December 17th, so the tree represented the light of our life together and our beautiful family. You may be familiar with the Swedish word smorgasbord, meaning a buffet of delicacies. Ask any Swede, and they'll tell you that a smorgasbord table without herring is absolutely unthinkable. Other foods would also be included, like meatballs and cured ham and rice pudding, but the tiny pickled herring fish were essential to the buffet. The smorgasbord was traditionally served on December 24th, when it's called the Yule board, or Christmas table. I would prepare a very special smorgasbord of 5 to 7 courses for everyone to enjoy. The first few courses would be fish and potatoes, including lutefisk, a common fish dish in Sweden. Then the next few courses would be savory items, like Swedish meatballs and cold meats. The final course was dessert, delicious gingerbread, fruit cake, rulltärte, that's like a rolled sponge cake, and rice pudding. It was important to put a single almond in the rice pudding to make sure whoever found it would have good luck for the coming year. Each course would be another trip to the buffet and another chance to eat and be merry together as a family. We'd also sip on mulled wine or julial, which is a dark stout that's brewed specifically for the holiday season. After feasting, children would head to bed to prepare for the arrival of Tomte. Tomte was a short, white-bearded creature from Scandinavian folklore. He resembled the Santa Claus that I see here in America. And much like Santa, Tomte brought gifts to children. But unlike Santa, he traveled via goat. After receiving gifts, we'd attend church services and then spend the rest of Christmas Day enjoying food and drink, family, and friends. To conclude the holiday season, we Swedes celebrated St. Knut's Day on January 13th. We would clean up and pack up the holiday decorations, and any fruit or cookies like gingerbread that were used to decorate would then be eaten or else fed to the livestock. Then we'd have a St. Knut's party full of dancing, singing, lighthearted pranks, and of course, eating. It was always pleasant to be able to celebrate a Swedish Christmas in the New World, and most importantly, to pass along traditions and recipes to my daughters. Good Yule.